If, like so many of us, you dread that age old question, what's for dinner? And it sends you spiraling straight into stressful, then stick around because today we are diving into meal planning, but not just any meal planning. We are talking about easy meal planning that's going to end your dinner stress for good. So, what is meal planning anyway? It's easy to think that it's just about food, but in reality, it's about so much more than that. It's like setting up a game plan for your week that helps you to dodge stress, it helps you to make healthier choices, and yes, it helps keep you away from that takeout menu. Meal planning at its heart is about creating an environment where you decide your meals in advance. So, by having a set schedule, it's easier for you to cater to preferences, to allergies, to dietary goals. And the overall goal is to shop once, cook strategically, and sidestep that daily kitchen panic, that daily, oh my gosh, what are we going to eat tonight? Or driving through the drive through again on your way home from work, right? It's about proactively making choices to reduce stress and improve balance in your daily life. Now, before we dive in, I want to share a personal story with you because I want to make sure that you don't do what I did. Well, the very first time that I tried meal planning and meal prepping, I spent so much time. I came up with 7 different breakfast recipes, 7 different lunch recipes, and 7 different dinner recipes. Now, that is 21 different recipes for 1 week for one person. Oh my gosh. Now, mind you, I didn't cook very much, so I was kind of clueless about all of this, but I spent so much time putting together that recipe list. I spent so much time at the grocery store. And when I got my bill, I was like, oh my gosh. And not only that, when I got home, there was nowhere to put all that food. It was overwhelming. So, my personal tip to you, don't do what I did. I'm going to make this easy for you. All right, so let's talk about creating a menu because that is the first step to meal planning, right? When it comes to crafting your menu, you want to think about how you can cook once and eat twice. It's like meal planning's own buy one, get one deal, right? Buy one, get one free, except that it's cook once and eat twice in this case. And I really want to encourage you to remember that simplicity is key. So try to think about how you can use the same ingredients in different dishes. So think about tofu in a stir fry one night and maybe in a pasta salad later in the week. What about theming certain nights of the week? Would that make it easier for you? You can do meatless Monday, you can do taco Tuesday, you can do pasta night. These are all ways to make meal planning easier for you. So let me tell you a little bit about how we do it. We have Taco Tuesday every single week. Makes it easy because there are a gazillion different ways you can make tacos, right? We never get bored, but it's super easy because we know that every single Tuesday we're having tacos. Guess what else that means? We are making leftovers so we can have tacos for lunch on Wednesday or Thursday as well, right? So that's 2 meals out of the way and low stress, low brain power because we're doing the same thing every single week. We also have stir fry at least once a week. And this is a wonderful way to take advantage of seasonal produce, right? And again, same thing. We make a big batch and we can eat it for dinner one night, and then we've got it for at least 1 or 2 lunches later in the week. So that's what we do. That's what works for us. Think about what's going to work for you and what's going to make this easy for you. Now, I will tell you one other thing when it comes to creating a menu. Again, simplicity really is key. You'll find your flow, give yourself permission to experiment and to explore, but let it be simple. For example, we do choose a different recipe for dinner every single night of the week, unless we know, we're going out or something, or if something's particularly a big dish like chili or soup or pasta salad, something that we know we can eat more than once for dinner and for lunches. But in general, we make 7 different recipes for dinners and we eat those for lunch too. So I don't plan lunches at all. We eat leftovers for lunch. Breakfast is super simple. I don't pick more than 1 or 2 recipes for the week. And yeah, we can mix it up, over time, but it's so nice to wake up in the morning and just know exactly what you're going to be eating for that day. And so just let it be easy. Let it be as easy as possible for you and make sure that it fits into your lifestyle and your routine. All right, so my friend, you have drafted your menu for the week. Now it's time for your shopping spree. Now, shopping can be either therapeutic or it can be stressful, and it's all in how you approach it. So before you dive in, take a few deep breaths and think about what's going to fit into your lifestyle in a way that feels as stress free as possible. Now, for me, what works well is to plan my menu Saturday morning before my yoga class. Then I go to yoga and I'm all relaxed. And then I can go to the grocery store in that Zen state, right? So I do all my planning and shopping on Saturday. And then I like to do my prep on Sunday. So find your own routine. By finding your own routine, it's not only going to save you multiple trips to the store, which also saves us time and money, right? But it also reduces those impromptu and oftentimes, I mean, to be honest, unhealthy takeout nights. And remember that by setting a budget, by creating a list, by sticking to your list and making informed choices, you're not just saving money, but you are eliminating that daily decision making stress. And you don't have to ask yourself, what's for dinner? All right, my friend, let's talk about food prep essentials. Now, this is where the rubber meets the road, food prep. To truly harness the power of meal planning, I want to encourage you to embrace food prepping. Here's the thing I've struggled with myself, and most of my clients struggle with this. I don't have time to food prep, right? Well, in reality, what I have found, and what so many of my clients have found after sticking to this for a while, is that it actually saves us time in the long run. So, if you think about your budget of time for the week, what is going to make your life easier? Dedicating some time one afternoon or one evening or even one morning, whatever works best for you, to setting yourself up for success for the week ahead, or every single evening, setting aside that time that you probably don't have, where you are more likely to turn to takeout or highly processed packaged foods. And I'm not saying that any of that is bad, right? Because everything has its own place in a balanced diet. But when we plan and prep ahead, we have more control over how we are intentionally nourishing our bodies, right? So, food prep. To truly harness the power of meal planning, I want to encourage you to embrace food prepping and let it be easy, okay? Start simple. Know your cook times, get friendly with your freezer. Both of those can save you hours. Now, double up on your recipes when you can. For example, you can cook a big batch of rice, you can make a big batch of quinoa, and you can use that for different meals throughout the week. So when it's time to eat, all you have to do is bring it out of the fridge and warm it up, right? So the goal here is to do the work now so that later on in the week, you can relax. All right, so you have come up with your menu, you have gone shopping. Now you're home from the store, right? So once you get home from the store, I want to encourage you to spend a few moments batching your ingredients. And what do I mean by that? Well, I mean, I want you to spend a few moments sorting and batching ingredients for each meal. This is going to make it so easy for you to just grab and go, especially during those unexpectedly busy evenings, right? We've all encountered those. So, one example of this, you know, I love tacos. Put your taco shells, your seasoning, your canned toppings together, maybe in a bag, maybe in a small box, maybe in a simple corner of your pantry. And then gather together all of those refrigerated toppings in the same type of space or container in your refrigerator. If you want to, you can even label them with the meal and any other notes that you have so that it's easy to grab and put together when taco night rolls around. This is especially helpful if you need to communicate with other members in your household about what that food is for, right? So, by batching your ingredients, it's going to make it so much easier for you. You can also think about what can you prep and chop ahead of time. Any of those vegetables that you can chop now, it's going to save you time and effort later on in the week when you don't have as much energy as you might today. Now, I want you to imagine Tuesday evening rolls around, you open your pantry, and you've got everything you need all ready to go for Taco Tuesday right there. And the same thing is true when you open up your refrigerator. Everything is right there. Everything is right there. Trust me, those few moments of organizing and batching is going to make your life so much easier. Your future self is going to thank you so much. All right, now let's talk about your freezer. I want to invite you to make your freezer your friend. And if you are new to meal prepping, you may not be ready for this yet, and that is totally okay. Meet yourself where you're at. But when you're ready, think about how you can use your freezer as more than just an appliance and really think about it as a time saving tool. So, from pre cooked meals to no cook options, if you utilize your freezer, you can have meals ready for days, if not weeks or more. This kind of foresight really makes it easy to eat balanced meals, even on those days that life feels anything but balanced. So, I don't know about you, but I love looking for recipes on Pinterest, right? And so, what I have found is that many of the recipes that I find, they tell you how to freeze that particular meal. So, you may find that as well as you're searching for recipes. A lot of them have tips on how to freeze them. So follow those instructions and go ahead and double or triple the batch and set yourself up for success so that on those nights where life feels hectic and you just don't have the time or energy, you can set yourself up by pulling out a freezer meal in the morning and having it ready to go for the evening. All right, now I want to talk to you about some no cook options because we all know that sometimes life just gets overwhelmingly busy. And so on those days, it's nice to be able to turn to these no cook options. So think salads, think wraps, even smoothies. They're great for breakfast. But by integrating these no cook options into your meal plan, you're giving yourself permission to take it easy when needed, but you're not compromising on nutrition. So, how do you do a no cook meal prep? Well, it's all about simplifying without compromising. So, how can you use pre cooked meats or pre cut veggies? Invest in some good quality containers that are going to help you to preserve freshness. Meal planning is not just about the days that you have energy, but it's also setting yourself up for success and preparing for the days, preparing for the days when you know you're going to need a break. All right, now let's talk about some easy to make meal preps. So, think about how you can not only tap into what you may already be comfortable with, but how can you expand your culinary horizons? Again, Pinterest is a wonderful tool for finding new recipes, but think about how you can dive into things like lasagnas or casseroles, fajitas, overnight oats. Think about these easy to make options that you can integrate into your menu and your routine that will help you to make sure that your nutrition doesn't take a backseat even during the busiest of weeks. All right, my friend, we have talked about my favorite tips for meal planning today. We've talked about what not to do and how to make meal planning fit into your life in a way that feels good for you. And so, to wrap things up, I just want to remind you that meal planning is not just a strategy, it truly is a lifestyle choice. And by choosing to plan ahead, you are actively deciding to reduce stress and cultivate that more balanced life that we all crave. So, remember, every single time you take the time to plan ahead, you are carving out more moments for relaxation, for reflection, for time with your family, and for joy. So, here is to a more balanced life, one meal at a time. Happy eating, my friend. If you are ready to get started on your balanced, stress free meal planning journey, I would love to invite you to download your blank meal planner and get my meal planning guide now for free. You can plan and enjoy your meals and step into a calmer and healthier lifestyle. So don't wait. Take the stress out of meal planning today. Let's stay in touch. You can find me on Instagram. My wellness page is at Rachel_Hupp, and my yoga page is at Rachel Hupp Yoga. You can also find me over on Facebook at Rachel Hupp Health and join my free Facebook group, Bringing Balance to Life. Hope to see you there.